What's up, Broncos Country? Check it out. Denver Broncos family, what just happened could completely change our conference's season. I'm going to tell you something you probably still haven't fully believed, but it's already making every Broncos Country fan's blood boil with excitement. Stick with me until the end of this video because what went down on Sunday was historic, it was epic, and it might just be the beginning of something even bigger. Let's take this slow because this is one of those news stories we need to savor every detail. So picture the scene with me. Sunday afternoon, our team taking the field against the opponent that has been the absolute owner of the division in recent years. The team that everyone feared, that seemed invincible, that was always there in the conference championship making it happen. Well, that team is now completely lost, desperate, and Broncos Country is the one who put them in this situation. And look, I'm not exaggerating one bit when I say this. The victory we secured on Sunday, 22-19, wasn't just another win. It was the kind of result that shakes foundations, that changes narratives, that makes everyone stop and think, wait a minute, is the empire really falling? And the answer, family, is becoming clearer and clearer. Let's contextualize this situation because it's absolutely surreal. Since that quarterback over there took over as starter in 2018, the rival team dominated our division in a way that left every orange and blue fan with a bitter taste in their mouths. 7 consecutive seasons winning the division title, 7 straight years going to the conference championship, 5 appearances in the biggest game on the planet. 3 straight titles going to that final. We saw this dominance up close, and it hurts to admit, but it was real. But now, Broncos Country, now things are different, and it's not just different, it's the complete opposite of what we were used to seeing. That team that seemed unbeatable now has 5 losses in 10 games. Let me repeat that so you can digest it well. 5 losses. The same number of losses they had in entire seasons in the past, they already have now, with 7 games still to go. And you know what's even more impressive? This is the worst record that quarterback over there has ever had in his entire career through 10 games. Never, at any point since he entered the league, has he been so lost, so vulnerable, so far from that aura of invincibility. And all 5 of those losses, family. All of them were by a difference of just 1 score. A year ago, this same team won all these close games, went 10 for 10 in games decided by the details. Now they can't close any of them. The pressure is weighing heavy, confidence is shaken, and the result is there for everyone to see. But wait, there's more, much more. Their situation is so complicated you can't even believe it. They're in 9th place in the conference. 9th place. A team that was used to having home field advantage throughout the postseason is now just fighting for a playoff spot. They have the same number of wins as 2 other teams in the conference, but because of tiebreakers, they're behind. And check out this delicious irony. 3 of the teams ahead of them in the standings have already beaten them head-to-head this season. That means if the season ends tied in wins, they're left behind. The math isn't helping, family. And now comes the part that puts a smile on every Broncos Country fan's face. For the first time in that rival quarterback's career, for the first time, his team is more than 3 games behind the division leader. And guess who the leader is? It's us. The Denver Broncos is in front, commanding the division and putting that opponent who dominated us for so long in the rearview mirror. This isn't just a season turnaround, family. This is a statement. This is the Denver Broncos showing they're back to compete, back to dominate, that they won't accept being a supporting actor in this division anymore. And the best part? The best part is that all this happened because we made it happen. Sunday's victory was built brick by brick, with suffocating defense, with smart plays, with a team that played together from the first to the last second. Let me tell you how this game went because every detail matters. Our defense was absolutely spectacular. While that rival offense that used to do whatever it wanted against everyone tried to find spaces, our guys were there, closing every gap, pressuring every play, forcing every mistake. And look, they made plenty of mistakes, family. The frustration was written on every one of their players' faces. You could see a team that simply didn't know what to do anymore to win. And on offense? On offense, we did enough. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't that show we dream of seeing every week. But it was efficient. It was smart. It was the kind of football that wins important games. We controlled the clock, kept their defense on the field, tired those guys out. And when we needed to score points, we did. 22 points were enough, because our defense didn't let them breathe. The opposing coach tried everything, changed schemes, tried different plays, called every trick in his book. But it was all for nothing. Our team was prepared, was confident, was playing like one family. And that made all the difference. When you have 11 guys on the field playing for the same goal, believing in the same dream, defending the same colors, there's no tactical scheme that can stop it. Now, Broncos Country, let's talk about what this means for the rest of the season, because this is fundamental. We can't relax for even a second. This victory was incredible. It was emotional. It was everything we wanted, but it's just the beginning. We have 7 games ahead, and each one is a final. Every yard gained, every tackle made, every point scored will determine if we're really going to dominate this division or if it was just a passing moment. The rivals will face us one more time this season. They'll come with everything with anger, wanting to prove they're still the owners of the division. But guess what? We'll be waiting. We'll be ready. And we'll show again that Broncos Country doesn't get intimidated, doesn't back down, doesn't quit. Look at the remaining schedule we have ahead. It's not easy, family. There are tough games, important direct matchups, traps along the way. But if there's one thing this team showed on Sunday, it's that they're ready for war. This group has a winning mentality. This group has fire in their eyes. This group wants to do something special this season and won't let anything or anyone get in the way. And you know what's cooler about all this? It's seeing the reaction from other teams in the league. Everyone is realizing that the Denver Broncos is back. The analyses are changing. Experts are having to revise their predictions. Fans of other teams are starting to respect us again. And this is the result of work, dedication, of an organization that's doing things the right way. Our offense is evolving every week. The quarterback is growing, making better decisions, commanding the huddle with confidence. The receivers are making plays when called upon. The offensive line is providing protection and opening holes. The running game is working. Everything is falling into place at the right time. And the defense is playing at an elite level, family. The guys on the line are pressuring. The linebackers are everywhere making tackles. The secondary is covering well and creating turnovers. It's a complete defensive team that any coach in the league would love to have. And most importantly, they're playing with that orange aggression, that mentality of not letting anyone through. Special teams are contributing too. Important kicks being made, returns gaining yards, coverage being solid. These are the details that make the difference in tight games like Sundays. While the rival team is losing all the games decided by details, we're winning because every phase of the game is working. But let's also talk about the psychological impact of this victory. Imagine that rival team's locker room now. Imagine the pressure falling on those guys. They who were used to dominating, winning, being favorites in every game are now doubting. They're asking themselves what's happening. They're feeling the pressure of having to fight just for a playoff spot. That messes with your head, family. That destroys confidence. Meanwhile, our locker room is celebrating. The energy is through the roof. Every player believes they can do something special. Every practice is done with maximum intensity. Every team meeting is focused on the bigger goal. This is what separates mediocre teams from championship teams. And Broncos Country is seeing a team with a championship mentality being built right before our eyes. Now let's analyze the season numbers because they tell an incredible reality. We have more wins than losses. We're at the top of the division. We have a positive point differential. The defense is among the league's best in several important statistics. The offense is improving week after week. These aren't lucky numbers, family. These are numbers from a good team, a prepared team, a team that deserves to be where it is. And when you compare with that rival team, the difference becomes even clearer. They're negative in several statistics. They're losing important games. Their confidence is shaken. That aura of invincibility simply evaporated. And it was Broncos Country that helped make this happen. Look at how things changed quickly. At the beginning of the season, how many people were betting on us? How many experts said we'd compete for the playoffs? Few, very few. Everyone was still stuck in that old narrative that the division belonged to the rivals. But we proved that narratives can be rewritten. We proved that hard work and execution overcome expectations. We proved that Broncos Country should never be underestimated. And Sunday's victory was the definitive turning point. It was the moment when everyone realized, wait a minute, the Denver Broncos is playing serious football here. It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's competence. It's planning. It's execution at the highest level. Let's talk about each critical phase of Sunday's game because it deserves to be remembered. The first half was balanced, with both teams studying each other, trying to find their rhythm. But our defense was already showing there that it wasn't going to be easy for the rival offense. Every play was contested, every yard was earned with blood, sweat, and determination. In the second half, the intensity increased. The pressure was in the air. Everyone knew that game was going to be decided in the details. And it was in those crucial moments that our team shined. When we needed an important defensive stop, we made it. When we needed a crucial first down on offense, we got it. When we needed to control the clock in the final minutes, we executed perfectly. And those final minutes, family, what tension. Us with the ball, trying to run out the clock, knowing every snap could be decisive. The rival defense trying to force a turnover, desperate for one more possession, but our team kept calm, kept composure, and closed the game. That's how it has to be. Winning teams don't give the opponent a second chance. After the clock hit 0, that feeling was indescribable. Seeing our players celebrating at midfield, seeing the frustration on the rivals' faces, seeing Broncos Country in the stands exploding with happiness. These are the moments we live for. These are the moments that stay in our memory forever. And now comes the most important part, family. What do we do with this victory? How do we use this moment as fuel for the rest of the season? The answer is simple: working even harder. There can be no relaxation. There can be no overconfidence. There can be no distraction. We accomplished something important on Sunday, but the work is far from over. The next games will define our destiny. Every opponent will want to knock us down, will want to prove it was luck, will want to take us off the top of the division. But Broncos Country won't allow it. We'll go into every game with the same mentality we had on Sunday. Play with heart, play with intelligence, play like one family. The schedule is still challenging. There are good teams ahead. There are road games that will be complicated. There are direct matchups that will determine playoff positions. But if there's one certainty we can have, it's that this team is ready. This team proved they can beat anyone anywhere. And when we face that rival again later in the season, oh, family, that's going to be epic. They'll come wanting revenge. They'll want to prove Sunday's loss was an accident. But we'll be ready to show again who runs this division. It'll be a game for the books, no doubt about it. But until then, we have a lot to do. We have to maintain focus game by game. There's no point thinking about the rematch if we don't take care of the opponents that come before. Every matchup is an opportunity to grow, to improve, to show that Broncos Country is on a special path this season. And look, I know some people still doubt. There are people who think it was just a good moment and things will go back to normal. But these people aren't paying attention. They're not seeing how much this team has evolved. They're not noticing the mentality being built. This isn't a team that will settle for one or two important victories. This is a team that wants to do something big. The 3-game difference in the standings over that rival isn't a small thing, family. That gives us margin. That gives us confidence. That puts all the pressure on them while we can play looser, more confident, knowing we control our own destiny. Of course, we can't waste this advantage. Every game is a final. Every victory is fundamental. But being in the leadership position changes everything. And for you watching this who's Broncos country for real, you know how much we've waited for this moment. It's been years watching that rival team dominate, years swallowing hard, years dreaming of the day we'd come back on top. That day is coming, family. This moment is ours, and we won't waste it. The coach is doing a fantastic job. The decisions are being right. The in-game adjustments are working. The players are buying into the philosophy. The entire organization is aligned on a common goal. This doesn't happen by accident. This is the result of leadership vision, knowing exactly what needs to be done. The fans have also been doing their part. The stadium has been a fortress. The energy Broncos Country brings to every home game is insane. Opponents feel this pressure, feel it's not easy to come here and win. And in road games, our fans travel, make noise, show that wherever the Denver Broncos plays, there's orange and blue present. Now let's talk a little about some individual statistics because they matter. Our quarterback is reducing turnovers, making more mature decisions, developing exactly as we hoped. The receivers are creating separation and making important catches. The main runner is gaining tough yards and helping control the game. The offensive line is improving every week. On defense, the numbers are even more impressive. The amount of pressure we're generating is insane. Sacks are coming at the right moments. Forced turnovers are changing games. The secondary is limiting big plays. It's a complete defense, family. A defense that can take us far. And on special teams, consistency has been key. Field goals being converted when it matters. Punts putting the opponent in bad field position. Returns gaining valuable yards. Coverage being solid. These are the details, these small victories in each phase of the game that when added up create something special. The analysis of the opponents coming up shows it won't be easy, but it also shows we have a chance against anyone. Some teams have strong defenses that will test our offense. Others have explosive offenses that will challenge our defense. But if there's one thing we learned this year, it's that our team knows how to adapt, knows how to make adjustments, knows how to find paths to victory. The coolest thing about all this, family, is seeing how the narrative has completely changed. At the beginning of the season, everyone talked about that rival team as invincible. Now the talk is about how they're in crisis, how they're lost, how they might even miss the playoffs. Meanwhile, the analyses about the Denver Broncos are increasingly positive, increasingly respectful, increasingly recognizing we have a real team here. This narrative change didn't happen by luck. It happened because we made it happen. Game after game, victory after victory, performance after performance, we've been building this reality. And the best part is we haven't reached our ceiling yet. This team can still improve, can still evolve, can still reach even higher levels. The young players are gaining valuable experience. With each game, they become more mature, more confident, more prepared. The veterans are leading by example, showing the younger ones how to win in the league. This mix of youth with experience, energy with wisdom, is a powerful combination. And when you look at the medical department, we've been relatively healthy. Sure, there are some injuries here and there. That's inevitable in a season. But overall, the team is whole, available, ready to play. This is fundamental in this final stretch. Teams that reach the playoffs with everyone healthy have a huge advantage. The preparation during the week has been impeccable. The coaches are creating smart game plans. The players are studying, preparing mentally and physically. The attention to detail is at the highest level. All of this is reflected on Sunday when the ball rolls. And speaking of Sunday, Broncos Country, each passing week is a new opportunity to do something special. A new chance to show this team is for real. A new possibility to add another important victory to our campaign. And we can't waste any of these opportunities. The pressure is now all on the other side. That rival team that dominated the division is now having to explain losses, having to deal with criticism, having to answer tough questions. Meanwhile, we can play free, confident, knowing that each victory increases our lead and puts more pressure on them. But family, one thing is important. We can't keep looking back. There's no point just thinking about Sunday's victory or the rival's bad situation. The focus has to be on the next challenge, the next opponent, the next opportunity to win. That's how championship teams think. That's how we'll get where we want. Analysts across the league are starting to take us seriously. The odds are changing in our favor. Predictions are being revised. Everyone realized the Denver Broncos isn't here to play around. We're here to compete at the highest level. We're here to fight for titles. We're here to make Broncos Country proud. And when you think about everything that's happened in recent years, all the difficulties we went through as a franchise, all the tough moments we lived through as fans, getting to this point is even more special. We don't forget where we came from. We don't forget the difficult seasons. But we use all of that as motivation, as fuel to make this season different. The work in the youth development is also paying off. The young guys coming up to the main team are prepared, ready to contribute. The entire organization is aligned from top to bottom. This creates a winning culture that permeates everything. And it's this culture that will take us far. The expectations are different now. The demands are higher. The pressure has increased. But this team has shown it's ready to deal with all of this. Shown it has maturity. Shown it has a winning mentality. Shown it can handle the weight of being the team to beat in the division. And you, Broncos Country fan, have to be ready too. Have to be ready to support this team in every game. Have to be ready to make noise in the stadium. Have to be ready to wear orange and blue with pride. Have to be ready to believe something special is happening here. Because at the end of the day, family football is about moments. It's about those games that stay in your memory forever. It's about those seasons you tell your kids and grandkids about. And this season has everything to be one of those we'll remember for the rest of our lives. Sunday's victory was just the beginning. It was just the first chapter of this special season we're living. There's still a lot ahead. There are still many challenges to overcome. There are still many victories to conquer. But if one thing became clear, it's that Broncos Country is ready. Ready to do something big. Ready to write a new page in our beautiful history. And that rival team, they can deal with their own problems. We have to focus on our work, our evolution, our goal. Whether they manage to recover or not, that's their problem. Our focus is to do what needs to be done, win games, dominate the division, and go as far as possible in the playoffs. So family, if you're Broncos Country for real, if you bleed orange and blue, if you believe in this team as much as I believe, don't forget to subscribe to the channel here, drop that like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any analysis, any news, any important moment of this special season we're living. So, Denver Broncos family, what did you think of this complete turnaround in our division? Do you believe we'll maintain this lead until the end? How much do you think that rival team will recover, or are they done for? Comment down below. Let's debate. Let's exchange ideas. Because Broncos Country is this: a family that celebrates together, suffers together, and cheers together. Share this video with all the orange and blue friends you know. Tag that buddy who was doubting our team. Send it to the family group. Spread this positive energy because Broncos Country is flying high and nobody's going to stop us now. Until the next video, family, and remember, keep the faith, keep the focus, and keep believing because the best is yet to come. And as always, go Broncos.